The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker is a sci-fi novel. This one was recommended to me by Liv from Stories for Coffee. So basically this is about the fictional small town of Santa Lora, and they end up getting a virus of sorts. It's a variation of the African sleeping sickness that causes people to fall asleep for long periods of time. Sometimes they wake up, sometimes they fall back asleep. But if you're not found, you basically die of dehydration if you're not, set up with an IV solution. So this one feels a little bit weird because the story is a bit of an ensemble. So it sort of jumps back and forth between multiple characters. So it's really hard to connect with them emotionally because we're following like May. She's like a Asian student who's a bit of an outcast, but then there's a couple other students because the college dorm is basically where the ground zero is, and then there's a dean in there, and they focus on a couple of parents in there too. They jump around a lot, and we don't get too much focus on any one character, so it kind of loses that characterization method. And then the story in itself, though, can be commended because it pretty much predicts the coronavirus. There's some really interesting elements in this book that are in real life now, like people saying, oh, the sleeping virus is a hoax, the government did it on purpose, Conspiracy theories like that get expunged. Very lyrical prose, didn't quite care for it, it was really, I don't know, it was a little too flowery for me, but I felt like the book lacked agency. There wasn't really anything going on besides, like, there was no race to find a cure for it or anything. There was no, like, everyone's falling asleep, everyone's gonna get screwed, but they, the story just sort of unfolds and sort of just happens, and there's a lot of characters that get explored. There's a pair of little girls, they try to throw in this weird dreaming thing at the end because, the book is called The Dreamers, but that element gets introduced way too late in the game, in the last, like, maybe 50 pages, so, it's not really something that ends up being really important, and so the book does lack character development and agency and story, but I also like the ideas introduced, the way like the sickness works and the way people had to like wear masks and stuff. They really predicted the COVID pandemic, which is interesting. But overall, it does lack in a lot of other areas. So I give The Dreamers a 2 out of 5.